"I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may salute your bride," said the pastor. It was a sunny day in October 1991 when my father, Kevin, took my beautiful mother, Jacqueline, in holy matrimony. Although I was still in baby heaven, with the pictures creating such vivid images, I could see a lifetime of love and happiness. Who knew this would end so soon? Prior to the union were my two sisters, Janera and Lauren. In March of '93, just 2 years into the marriage, the couple was blessed with a beautiful baby girl, me. Just like any relationship, my parents had their share of problems too. However, they never showed it in front of my sisters and me. Around age 5, I started to notice a change. My mother and older sister Janera moved out. Even though they were less than an hour away with my maternal grandparents, it seemed as though they moved to California. Now it was just me, Lauren, and Daddy. Too young to understand, I knew I didn't like what was happening, and I blamed it all on my daddy, or as I referred to him, the bad guy. Some time went by, but Lauren and I still maintained a close relationship with our mother and sister. On Friday evenings, they would pick us up for the weekend. By this time, she had her own place in Florence, South Carolina. Finding it hard to separate from us, they moved back in, and my family was complete again. Birthdays, holidays, vacations to Orlando, Florida, you name it, we did it together, just like old times. But I guess the second attempt wasn't in the works. I don't know what sparked it, but my mother and sister left again, this time for good. Sunday evenings were the worst. Lauren and I would cry and holler so loud the neighbors could hear when my mother dropped us back off to Daddy. When it was time for bed, I'd still be upset. Lauren always got over it before me. There were many nights I'd sleep with clothes in my bed that I wore that weekend just to smell the cinnamon potpourri scent of my mother's house. It made me feel close to her and helped calm me down. I'd wake up in the morning feeling a little better, especially knowing that when I got home from school I'd be receiving my daily call from my favorite girl. Some Sundays my daddy would loosen up and let us spend an extra night, and when he did, I was happier than a fat kid with a piece of cake. It wasn't until my preteen years that I found out the truth. My parents' divorce was finalized ever since November 1995. Surprised? That I was. Don't get me wrong, I knew they were divorced, but just not the year. That means that my mother and father were divorced since I was 2, but lived together 3 years afterwards. All those times we went to Disney World for vacation, they were only putting on a front. They deserved Oscars because they had me convinced, and I was pretty wise for my age. Never speaking with professionals about our feelings, Lauren and I helped each other cope with the divorce. As we grew older, we realized there was no chance of our parents getting back together. As rap artist Rich Boy once said, good things don't last forever. My mom remarried and just celebrated her 6th anniversary to my wonderful stepfather, Mark. By the way, she still resides in Florence, South Carolina. Since 2004, my family has expanded greatly. My father had another child and my mother had twins. With her new marriage, I gained 2 stepbrothers. I like to call us the 21st century blended Brady Bunch. I absolutely love my gigantic family, but I do wish we all lived closer to each other. I hate having to split my weekends up between Georgetown, Florence, and now Spartanburg. Nevertheless, I managed to make it work out. Looking back on my childhood, I always say to myself that I never want my kids to go through what I went through. I understand that not every relationship is meant to be, but I am a firm believer that through prayer, faith, and communication, things can change for the better. I have no idea how my parents were able to look in the red, watery eyes of their broken-hearted children. This is something I never want to experience with my own. When the time comes for me to get married, I'm going to pray that it's to have and to hold, not to have and to let go.